Building an audience is useless if it doesn't tie into your top three priorities. Here's why. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while, but let's dive right into this video. So I thought I'd tell you a little bit about why I've stopped making videos and also why I've stopped posting on Twitter as much. And the reason for that is that at the beginning of the year, I kind of drew out my priorities for the year, which included SwiftBrief or SEO Outline Generator. It included content and personal brand as number two because I thought it was a quite high leverage activity regarding it being something that only I can do because it's centered around my persona or whatever. And then as third, I had the speech generator, which is now actually one of our main income streams since this month as it's getting wedding season. And then in April this year, that kind of shifted just because when I started doing content, I did like these build in public updates and I did kind of very much unfocused content like how to, build your startup, like your startup toolkit and whatever. And while it was fun to make these videos, at the end of the day, it didn't have a lot of impact on any of the other priorities, right? So basically, I had to have that take a backseat just because I needed to be more hands-on with the rest of the projects to kind of help grow SwiftBrief, create content, development work on the speech generator. So I've been doing a lot of updates to the speech generator itself, lifting the conversion rate, I think tripling it in the last 2-3 months by just building and executing a bunch of experiments that I also come up with, brainstorm, execute, analyze, etc. Right. So that has been much more important because we're kind of running out of money in terms of runway. So I expected SwiftBrief to grow more and faster by itself, or not by itself. I mean, we're doing work, right? But I didn't expect to be this hands-on with it. And so now, as you can see, in terms of like top 10 priorities, so I only have top three here, but usually I work in top 10. And I don't know if you know this framework. It's basically you write down your top 10 priorities and then you only take the top three because the top four to top 10 are basically the ones that kind of seem important, but they're not really. So anything that you spend on priority 4 to 10 is time you don't get to spend on your top three. And it's much smarter to just spend time on your top three. I have that here somewhere, right? So if you look at this, if you only have a limited amount of blocks of time that you can spend and you kind of distribute them like this, it's much smarter to not, go past three if you can, obviously, and put everything you have into the top three, making it look more like this. And that's what I've been doing, right? And so the content, because again, more of a long-term bet, doesn't have much short-term impact, mid-term impact even. And so I stopped because it just kind of fell out of my top three. And what I did now is basically think about how to approach content not as its kind of standalone thing, but more think in terms of like, okay, how can I use content to grow SwiftBrief, to grow the speech generator, to feed into the top three rather than being its own kind of separate thing. And so what I'm doing now is I've started using Twitter again more. I've started doing videos again more like this to more or less educate things around SEO and growth marketing or content marketing, and to just kind of tie that into SwiftBrief. So it's going to be very much focused on growing assets with SwiftBrief. So we're growing the speech generator, like we're growing the organic traffic. And I'm going to document that because that will become a case study for SwiftBrief. And we're also growing SwiftBrief's own traffic. And I'm just going to do build and public updates, very similar, but everything is going to be centered around SEO and growth marketing or online marketing. And maybe occasionally I'll, do something else. But this will be kind of a niche I will pick to go deep on. And we're also running this kind of accelerator with SwiftBrief together with someone from Twitter. And we're running it again for SwiftBrief itself and for the speech generator tool. And we're going to look to scale that out more to, just scale that asset a bit. And that's essentially in, I don't know how many minutes, why I stopped posting, why I'm going to post again. And hopefully I'll produce some more useful content for others as well to replicate by showing how we're using SwiftBrief, how we're using SEO to grow in a very kind of beginner friendly way, I hope, because I think there's a lot of misconceptions around SEO content in general and just how it works. And it doesn't need to be that complicated, I think. And yeah, that's just kind of what we've learned building out roadmaps with people. Now, also executing content, there's a lot of question marks, and those I want to tackle and kind of enable you as well as, whoever's watching to grow their own thing and be in this together with us. All right, that's all for today. Yeah, subscribe if any of this stuff sounds interesting to you, if you're interested in SEO or growth content, and I'll see you in the next video.